Hi guys, this is Rocky here again with yet another one of my software installation videos. I hope that you have been enjoying the previous ones, and today we are going to be looking at the installation of DNS on Windows 2008 R2 server. Now firstly, we need to ask ourselves, what is DNS? Simplest answer is DNS is a server service that maps domain names to IP addresses. Now, what we need to look at and try to understand is computers and humans understand things differently, right? If it is a computer needs to access information on another system, it does so by requesting its IP address. Right? If it is we are looking for something, for example, one of your favorite websites on the internet, we do so by typing a name, which is, more or less what we call the domain name service. So, computers and humans speak different languages. So many of the things that humans find easy, computers find useless. As I said before, the using of names, physical names, right? So what we need to look at is understanding that if it is we trying to access a website via the computer looks for the IP address, and it looks up the IP address for the server that has that specific web page on it, and that is what it brings back to us. So the DNS, or the domain name service, what it does is it changes the domain name that we type in, for example, Google, right, www.google.com, and it changes that to an IP address for the computer to understand, 8.8.8.8, and there it goes forward to the server, retrieves the information, and brings it up on the screen for us. So now that we understand what DNS is, we will go to Start, Administrative Tools, go to DNS, and here we find the DNS Manager. Right, so if you recall, when we did in my previous video, when we did the installation of the Active Directory, DNS was also installed. Right, now if we go here, right click, Properties, do NS lookup, it will show that the server is unknown, right? So basically what we need to do now is actually create a forward lookup zone for this machine. Alright, so right click, create new zone, right, and welcome to the new zone wizard, and from here we start creating a new zone, a forward lookup zone for the DNS. Okay, so now we have, we go to forward new zone, right, and then we run this entire zone, or let it be replicated throughout the entire forest. Click next, and give it a new name, and newzone.com. Click next, next, and finish. So there we have the forward lookup zone, new forward lookup zone created. Now the forward lookup zone actually uses the domain name to find an IP address. That's the purpose of the forward lookup zones. Now we also need to do a reverse lookup zone, right, which does reverse, obviously, where it takes the IP address and looks for, or to find, the domain name. Right, so we create a new zone. Next, this will be a primary zone, primary reverse zone, right, and we allow it to go through the entire forest of the rockhouse.com, Now this is for the IPv4 reverse lookup zone, and what we're going to do here is type in the first part of the network address, 192.168.1, right? And as you look here, it actually, you see it here having the name, reverse lookup zone name, right? Yes, we allow the secure dynamic updates. Click next and finish. And there we have the reverse lookup zone and the parent folder and stuff. So we have a forward lookup zone, and we also, which is new zone, and we have the reverse lookup zone, which as you see here is the 192.168.1 in reverse. Okay, so we go back to the forward lookup zone, right? Refresh, and what we're going to do now is in here, in the new zone, we're going to actually create a new host, right? And we're actually going to create the www domain, or the www host, right? So we have the www.newzone, and this IP address is 192.168.1.1, right? The same IP address of the actual machine itself, and we're going to create a pointer record. Now what this does is going to send back or is going to point to the reverse lookup zone. Alright, so you click add host, alright, successfully created, okay, and click done. So here we have the www host, right? We go to the reverse lookup zone. Now once you click the refresh here we see the pointer for the new zone, right? The new zone, the www new zone pointer, and it is pointing back. So the forward lookup zone and the reverse lookup zone both have the www.newzone.com link. Okay, so just to show you that what I'm actually talking about here and the link, we'll go here and launch NSLookup. So you see the new zone here. So type here the IP address, which is 192.168.1.1. There we see that requesting this, it resolves the IP address back to the server name, right? So basically this is where the NS lookup is. So let's see how, let's test this again, right? Create a new host, John Doe. Alright, so we have John Doe in the rockhouse.com. Right, IP address, create one for him, 92.168.1.50, right, and we created associated pointer at the host, and was successfully created. Okay, done. So we have John Doe, and let's refresh it. So let's go back now to run NSLookup. So we can search for the reverse, the search for the IP address 192.168.1.50, and when it does that, it automatically resolves for the John Doe address. So it's in the new zone server, new zone, and this is the address, and we have johndoe.rockhouse.com. Right now, that is the reverse lookup zone, or because basically this is the IP address we're searching for. Now, what we would do if we go to normal, if we go on a web page, or we looking to search for something in a search engine, we would type the name. So we type John Doe, and what DNS does is it reverts the name back to an IP address. So it associates the IP address to the name, and here we have the johndoe.rockhouse.com, right, and the IP address for John Doe by searching for John Doe, right? So as we see how the DNS works, and So there we have it, and the DNS has been configured, and I hope that you all have enjoyed this video, and hope to see you soon. Goodbye.